Titans, go! Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Titan Talk, the Titans podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Charles Skaggs, back in Titans Tower once again, this time on a Monday evening, with my fellow Titan Talker, one of my best friends, and just an all-around neato guy, Jesse Jackson.
Charles, this episode feels like a new world record.
Okay.
It's a living thing. We do get a reveal of an evil woman.
Yeah.
And so I am excited after, I think, a couple of episodes that don't bring me down.
Yes.
I feel like we're seeing Mr. Blue Sky.
Well, I'm guessing by all the ELO references you just dropped that you're ready to talk about this week's episode. Here at episode 47, we're going to talk EL_O.
Yes.
And the underscore has another letter that it references. So it's not quite ELO, but...
No, it's not.
But it's pretty close. I'll give you that.
Yes.
All right. So this just is the 11th episode of Titan Season 2. Just came out on November 15th, 2019, just a few days ago. Written by Bianca Sams, who wrote the Season 2 episode Deathstroke.
Okay.
So it's kind of interesting that she was chosen to write this episode, I think.
Yes.
Directed by Millicent Shelton, who's new to Titans, but she's done some other things. And in this episode, we get the return of Iain Glen as Bruce Wayne. We get a little bit more of Kieran Walters as Jason Todd, Chelsea Zhang as Rose Wilson, Natalie Gumede as Mercy Graves, a little cameo by Isai Morales as Deathstroke, or something more.
Mm-hmm.
And the return of Sidney Coon as Danny from the previous episode.
Yes.
And a fun little segment with the McKinley Freeman, who plays the psychiatrist.
Yes.
Who I don't think he was given a name, but it's a fun little scene with Corey and the psychiatrist that we'll talk about. And he's been in episodes of Scandal, Bones, and Boston Legal. So.
Yeah, he looked good without his shirt. I'm just saying there for all our female and other
occasional
guys that like that he looked good. I did want to go back. I just checked IMDb. Millicent Shelton looks like she's been a very busy director. She's done several episodes of Blackish,
right?
Done A Walking Dead. She's done Empire. She did an episode of Luke Cage, an episode of Jessica Jones. She's done The Flash, Barring Problems for the Future, Welcome to Earth 2, The Flash is Born. So she's got a little bit of cred. She's done not only regular but also some genre. So I think she did a good job of this episode.
Yeah, I think this one's pretty well balanced.
Yeah,
for the most part. A lot going on in this one.
Yes.
So I have 4 topics today.
Okay.
So let's get started.
Topic number 1.
Thank you, Ed McMahon. So everybody under the age of 30, go ahead and look up Ed McMahon on the internet right now.
Absolutely.
All right. So topic number 1, we got to talk right off the bat. Dick and I'm putting this in air quotes, Bruce. Because once again, it's not actual Bruce Wayne that's talking to Dick Grayson. It's a hallucination. This time, a fever-induced hallucination.
Mm-hmm.
So Let me get your thoughts right off the bat. What did you make of the Dick and Bruce scenes in this episode?
So, Charles, the first thing I want to say is I am going to let go how we got Dick in the current predicament.
Right?
I'm just we're going to pass up the fact of that stupid storyline. It
Yeah.
is what it is. He is in solitary confinement. He is in prison. He is hating himself, and we get, you know, Ghost Wayne,
Yes.
Bruce Wayne, and it is amazing.
Okay.
I just,
So you're
yeah,
wanting to write off the previous setup that
yes,
got us to
yeah,
this point. Say,
yeah,
okay, that's a loss. We'll just
yeah,
write
exactly.
it off as you would
Yes.
a financial loss and move
That's
on
exactly
forward.
right. That is perfectly said, Charles. It is like, yep, okay, we've made that loss. We're gonna start fresh. Um,
Moving
Ian,
forward.
yeah, Iain Glen is so good as Bruce Wayne. He is so good, and he was spoilers. He makes two appearances here,
Yes.
and he
We'll
is.
talk about the other Bruce
Yeah,
Wayne
I
in
know
our
we are
next
going to.
segment. Yeah.
Yeah, he is amazing, and Dick knows that he's just talking to himself,
Right.
but that Bruce Wayne persona and the idea of him saying, you know, it was a little weird when you went into the other room. And giving him, why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you doing this? I thought that was perfect. And I thought the scenes of Dick laying on the floor because, Bruce said, hey, you know what I do when I have a fever? I lay on a cold floor. It'll help.
Right.
And for anyone who's ever been really sick, like, and after you've been, sick,
Right.
the kitchen, the bathroom tiles feel good, right? That cold,
Yes.
you're like, you know, I loved everything about that. And I love the scenes where he's fighting Bruce, but he's really fighting with himself. It's like
It's smart.
he's
Well, it was almost like he was training. And when
yes.
we switch back from, I know we're going to get into this, but
Yeah.
to during that little montage where he's fighting Bruce, they kind
Yeah.
of flip back and forth from reality
Yeah.
to this little fantasy fight.
Yeah.
And in the reality, Dick almost looks like he's practicing his moves, like
Yeah.
he's training or getting
And
himself back in shape.
And I don't think we needed the scene to remind us that it's all in his head, but I think it served it well that they're going, okay, remember, this is how. And it was almost like he was cleansing himself the same way that, a meditation, it's like he's,
He's
Linda,
finding
yeah,
himself,
yeah.
basically.
Linda had a friend that this was years ago, but whenever she drank too much, she would get up in the next morning and run. And even though the smell of vodka would be coming from her pores, she ran off.
The
So she never
toxins.
get the toxins. And it's almost like he was working out his toxins and the negativity and
Right.
all his doubts. And it was just really well done. And ding, 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 point to Charles.
Yes.
I know we're going to get to that, but several things that you have been predicting, they showed true this episode, and I was so proud that we get to talk about it. So, how about you? Have I oversold how good this episode, this segment, this part of the episode was?
Maybe a little, but that's okay.
Okay.
I'll allow it. So,
Okay.
all right. So, yeah. So obviously, Dick is in solitary, picking up from the events of last episode. Apparently, somehow he got an infection. Bruce makes the character, the hallucination of Bruce, or I'm going to call him Halluce Wayne.
I like that.
See what I did
Yes.
there? So
Yeah.
Halluce Wayne is mentioning that, hey, rats carry pestilence, and if you
Mm-hmm.
notice, there was a rat left in his meal by the
Mm-hmm. Yes.
guard.
Yeah.
And so somehow he's gotten this infection, and it's caused him to have a fever, and he's just wanting sleep. And then all of a sudden, Halluce Wayne shows up, and tells Dick, "Hey, you're missing something," and basically kind of implies right off the bat that he's not thinking about Jericho.
Hmm.
And Dick is at this point, like, well, hey, Jericho's dead. Why should I even think about Jericho?
Yeah.
There's more going on here. So um, it's again, it's Dick's conscience
Hmm.
manifesting in this form of Bruce to kind of get him back on track. It's almost like his subconscious is trying to tell him,
Yes.
and like in the back of his mind that he's forgetting something, he's overlooking something because hey, he's a detective,
Yes.
and because he's too busy feeling sorry for himself and blaming himself for what happened. Um, he's completely on the wrong track, and so this is kind of, I think, his subconscious telling him, hey, look, okay, you need to focus on this instead, because what you're focusing on, this little self-pity and and martyrdom and whatnot, it's not a good look, dude, and you
Yeah.
kind of need to get back on track.
Yeah. And um, this is kind of we've seen this before in other TV shows where I'm missing something. The
Right.
detective, the hero will, or the heroine will go, I know I'm missing something. I know I'm not thinking of something. And so I like the way they did this. And I think people who have been listening to this show,
Right.
and also I'm sure, other people have been thinking of this. Like, yeah, Dick, listen. And so I really like that.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
So hopefully, yeah, hopefully he'll start listening, and it seems that way that he's trying to get back on
Yes.
track. Um, so after trying to get Dick to clear his mind, especially with that cold floor, he's just Bruce is just calling him out. He's saying, "Stop
Yeah.
moping like a coward," um, and you know Dick's Dick said, like, or he's saying, telling Dick, look, it doesn't matter if you made mistakes, um, and Dick is just focusing on Jericho's death. Well, Bruce is countering, look, Dick, you didn't kill Jericho.
Mhm.
It was Deathstroke,
Yes.
and he thinks that. Well, hello, Crypto.
Yes, indeed.
Crypto's a little active today. He's
Yes.
probably feeling a little bummed because he's in Cadmus.
Yes.
Um,
Charlie. Okay.
so apparently Bruce thinks that Dick wanted a reason to give up.
Mhm.
He gets angry, flips his bed. A guard comes in. Dick attacks that guard, so he gets beaten down. Like if he isn't sick enough already,
Mhm.
two guards just wail on him with their billy clubs,
Yeah.
and Bruce is just like, "Look, we're wasting time here."
Yeah.
So what it
Exactly.
so um, Dick starts feeling, like he starts, probably because he's been like knocked out by the guards.
Mhm.
He's resting, and his
Yeah.
body starts building up strength. He sees a crow in the window.
Yeah,
So
which was
it's almost like, you almost expect him. That's it. I shall become the crow. No, wait, that's
Yeah.
somebody else.
Yes.
But so Bruce comes back, and um, Bruce. This is where Bruce kind of points out that I can't keep, like, he goes, I can't help but think back to Adeline's,
Mhm.
the apartment, and there was, like, there was no killing there
Mhm.
because Deathstroke really wants to kill you,
Yeah.
and you want to kill him, but nobody killed each other,
Yes.
and he hints that, like, maybe there's something inside Slade that he needs.
Mhm.
So you kind of get the vibe that, okay, if this is Dick's subconscious, he's figured it out, but his conscious mind is kind of in denial over this.
Yeah, and I like the point where at one point they do a flashback and you see Slade moving his hands.
Right. Yeah,
You know,
and that was
and
something. Remember, I mentioned that because of my brother John.
right.
So, hi, John, if you're listening. You were on the money, John, because you spotted um, Deathstroke signing
Right. Yes.
signing the word help.
Yeah.
And it's because of subconscious Bruce that Dick figures this out.
Yeah. So
And
we
he
don't.
figures out that Jericho is alive.
Yeah. So we don't know quite. Um.
And that's where I get to say I told you so, because
Yes, you did.
I said he was alive, and sure
Yeah.
enough, he's alive.
Yeah. You absolutely did. You have believed that from the beginning. You have constantly said,
I'm on the record.
Yeah, I don't think he's dead, and so I think that's really well done. I I have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
About like who's controlling who and what's going on, because Slade has been very violent.
Right.
But I have a
we
little more confidence that this team's going to be able to stick the landing.
Right.
Okay.
What I have to wonder, it all boils down to Jericho signing the word help.
Yes.
So like maybe he's trapped in there, and he's kind of like this helpless victim of what Deathstroke wants to do.
Do you think
Like he's along for the ride, essentially?
Do you think he even knows his son is alive in there?
I think he does.
I'm going to think he doesn't.
Okay.
So that's my theory.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Because that's true. I think you might be onto something there because of him signing a message.
Yeah.
And maybe Slade wasn't aware that he did that.
Yeah.
So there might be something to your theory on this one here.
Yeah, that he's because Jericho has enough control to stop him from killing, but he can't totally control him. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
So hopefully it works out. But so yeah, that's basically it. And Dick has realized that hey, Jericho's alive. What the hell am I doing in prison? Which is something we said 3 episodes ago.
Yes, we did.
So welcome to the party, pal.
As
John McClane would say from Die Hard.
Yes.
But better late than never, I guess, because hey, we only have 2 more episodes left after this, and he makes his escape.
Yeah.
So, anything else about Dick and Bruce before we move on?
Nope.
All right, topic number 2, and this is a lot of people here, but given the way this story was structured, I think you'll understand why. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about Rachel, Corey, Donna, and Dawn, and the real Bruce Wayne.
Yes. So, Charles, I'm just here for the donuts.
Yes. Yes.
That was a good line.
That was a good line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Corey just had to have those donuts.
You've got flour, you've got sugar.
That was a great line. Don't steal my line.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So once again, former host of this podcast, beloved friend of both of ours, Karen. Shout out to Karen.
Karen hosted Titan Talk? I missed that.
No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Phantom Zone.
Yes.
But yes.
Our former co-host on the Phantom Zone podcast.
Yes.
Karen, Lindsay.
And the Farscape podcast we did. Thank you.
Right.
She would talk a lot about hand waves.
Yes.
We're just going to hand wave that. So how
you might want to explain that for the audience.
Yeah, the idea is sometimes you just have to hand wave a plot that doesn't make sense because let's just keep moving on.
Right.
So how could Bruce Wayne arrange for all of them to go there?
Right.
And I will. That is one of my lines.
Well, the default answer is he's Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's this big magic wand. All you have to do is just say the magic words. He's Batman, and it's okay.
And maybe the Bat computer is strong enough. Maybe he got Oracle to help. I'm just hand waving.
Right.
That's where you can if you need to explain it yourself. The important thing is Bruce Wayne was able to get them all to Elko's.
Yes. And that's the missing letter here, K.
Yes.
And a side note before we get into that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Elko, ELKO,
mm-hmm.
if you kind of rearrange the letters,
Yeah.
that spells out the word coal.
Okay.
And if you're a fan of the new Teen Titans from back in the 80s, you know that Cole, Kole, was a member of the new Teen Titans back in the day.
Oh, okay.
So she was the one that kind of joined up after Crisis, around that
Mhm.
time, around the time of Crisis.
Well, and Mel
Yeah.
was a Titan, and
Mal, Mal,
Dawn
Mal,
Mal, yeah.
Mal was,
But
yes.
Dawn's GPS she calls Mel. So I
Mel.
was just thinking that's
Yeah.
that I thought that was, I don't know why I didn't see the other, any reason why she would call
Well, it
them.
was female, so it was probably short for
Maybe.
Melanie.
Okay. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I love that they're all together.
Right.
I think that the real Bruce Wayne, comes across perfect. Um, this guy, I'm sure there's other actors who could pull this off, but he's been a great choice for Bruce Wayne.
Right.
And
an older Bruce Wayne.
yes, and this has been, I don't think anyone had on their scorecard how many minutes he would get like if you were using the sports metaphor. Okay, I wonder how many minutes Bruce Wayne will play in this season. I don't think many of us would have given as many as he's gotten.
Right.
And I think
if you got Iain Glen, well, you're going to use him, right?
Yes,
I
absolutely.
Would.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you'd be fools not to.
Yeah, everything about that has been great. Them all seeing each other and go, what the heck? What? So,
well, and how great was it that we actually got to see the female Titans, with the exception of Rose, who's off busy banging Jason Todd.
Yeah, she's not a real Titan.
Not yet.
Doesn't count. No, she's not.
Not yet.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was great to see the female Titans.
Yes, it was.
At least together in a scene, at least until Bruce Wayne shows up and ruins the whole thing with his Bruce-splaining.
Yes.
And I'm paraphrasing the mansplaining part.
Yes.
But it was kind of nice to see them together, and it's like, hey, we don't need Dick around, or Hank, or whomever,
and
to kind of be central characters in here. In the story.
Okay. Yeah, I was okay with them. They came up with a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and I think.
With a little friction about it.
Yeah, but I think it's okay. It was close enough to, if you thought about, let's divide and conquer.
Right.
Now, that wasn't that way, but I think it was a good, they didn't mean it that way, but I think actually
it worked out.
That works out well that they've got like, okay, let's divide and conquer. Let's do this.
We've got two things that need taken care of. We need to get Dick Grayson back, and we need to go rescue Gar. Mm-hmm. So essentially what we had was at the end when all that was sorted out and after Bruce leaves them. Yeah. And I love the way he just left abruptly and everybody's just like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah, he gets in his sports car and just drives off. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so they separate. Donna feels that they need to go rescue Gar. Dawn kind of siding with Donna. And if you notice, it was more like the old Women Titans,
yes,
and the newer,
yes,
Women Titans. So you had Dawn going off with Donna, and you had Corey staying behind with Rachel to go rescue Dick.
Yeah, and I was glad. I thought that made a lot of sense.
Right,
it's a good division. We should have gotten this a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, it's still kind of this generational split between the Titans.
Perfect.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But it was very interesting. That we've got some other stuff going on because interesting. There was kind of this setup to lure everybody there to Elko.
Yeah.
Corey, we find out, is like off getting drunk in Vegas, and there's a fun little scene we talked about a little bit where she brings this guy back to her hotel room.
Yes.
And intending to have sex with him.
Yes.
But he's a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
It just so happens. And he's he realizes that that Corey is being extremely impulsive and like she's having a manic episode is what he calls it. And he's like, "Are you sure we should be doing this? Do you want to just talk?"
You know,
And the mood is completely blown by this
yes.
point.
And good for him.
Yeah,
He's very ethical at
right.
doing the right thing.
He does
you
take
know,
all credit cards though, or
yes, he does. He did.
insurances.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does talk about it. But I do think um, and he doesn't even look like, dang it, why did I
yeah,
do that?
yeah.
No, I mean, he
Stupid,
was,
stupid,
yeah,
stupid,
exactly.
stupid.
Like, whoa. So yeah, he's like, oh no, no, I don't know. And I really feel like you're in pain and why do that? And she just wants to do what humans do.
Right.
You get drunk,
You
you
lose
have,
lose
yeah,
yourself in meaningless sex. Yes.
yes. And so yeah, that was pretty good. We've got Dawn's car broke down.
Right.
The engine light. So and
this
she
is
actually
this
threw
yes. Go
all
ahead.
her stuff away.
Right.
Except then she went back and kept one photo of the team.
Yes.
In her truck.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
this is like all her Hank stuff.
yes.
And she decides, okay, I'm going to just throw this all away. And then she
Yeah.
goes back for that one photo. Rachel, we find out, is essentially getting a tarot reading by her new friend Danny.
Yes.
And, basically he reveals that, okay, she turns over the cards. One is the Tower, which is her past upheaval leading to a period of darkness. The second card is the present, which is the Moon, the realm of dreams, and her unconscious apparently knows the way back to the light from that darkness. And then she has to trust her intuition. It will guide her to her purpose. And then her future is the Hanged Man, where brutality is coming her way. She must prepare to make a great sacrifice or suffer a great loss.
Yes.
So what do you think that means? Who does she lose, presumably? Or what does she give up? Do you think? Any theories?
No, I don't have any. Because I don't think...
I kind of wonder if she's going to lose Gar.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I don't...
I hope
maybe
not.
I
hope
yeah,
not.
maybe I just don't want to, us not have Gar.
You're in denial over that one. No,
yes, I am.
We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk
exactly.
about
No. Yeah.
But let's see what else. So she basically gets some spare change at this bus station, dumps it out on the counter, and she sees that little entry that just suddenly pops up on the board, Elko, Nevada. So she's off there. Donna, meanwhile,
and that also was a crossword puzzle answer.
Yes, right.
Which was kind of silly, but fun.
Yeah, we don't exactly know how Donna got there, do we? Oh, yeah, it was. Oh, no, I've taken that back. She was looking over the damage at Titan's Tower, and she got that call from Rachel.
Yes.
Which had a bunch of static. So either Bruce was faking Rachel's voice.
Yes.
Which I have to guess is what he was doing.
Right.
And apparently, like, not just Dick's voicemail is full, but Rachel's voicemail is full.
Yes.
Does anybody clear out their voicemail in this team?
No, they don't.
I mean, obviously, Dick is in prison. That might be a little tough.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
But Rachel has no excuse for that.
Mm-hmm.
So they all join up, and they sit down with Bruce and kind of catch Bruce up on what's been going on. And Bruce tries to give them a little, Titans pep talk. Like, hey, you guys are stronger together, and you guys can do anything. But I could suit up and help you as Batman, but I'm not gonna, because this is your thing. This is your thing. This is your show. This is your show.
He didn't say that. Yes, but
it was implied.
Yeah. And it was kind of well, really, you're not going to help your son get out of jail. You're not going to.
Right.
And he's like, you guys got this.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, that's exactly what he did. He's like, you got it. You got it. I'm cool. I just want to drive around my sports car, across a couple of state lines or whatnot. Um, last thing, we don't find out what Dawn and Donna do once they go looking for Gar. We don't get to see that, but we do get Corey and Rachel, and they break into the prison. So congrats on becoming breaking the law for breaking into a federal prison.
Hmm.
And they knock out a guard, presumably some other ones, because I would think they would run into some other guards in the prison.
Yes.
They open Dick's cell door after Corey has kind of a false start.
Hmm.
Something's going on with her powers,
Right.
it seems. And inside they find, surprise, Dick's gone, but he left a message for somebody because figuring that somebody would come and get him. And it says, Jericho is alive. Dun, dun,
Yes.
dun.
Right.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yes. Very
Little
nice.
dramatic sting there. So
Yes.
no relation to the police's sting.
Right.
So that's kind of where we leave them.
Okay.
So
Good. Yes.
anything else about these characters?
Nope.
All right, let's move on then. Topic number 3. We're going to go like clockwork here. Topic number 3. Let's talk about Rose and Jason.
Charles,
Yes.
there's a place for us, a time and place for us. Hold my hand and we're halfway there. Hold my hand and I'll take you there. And by the way, Linda just walked in from the bedroom and
Right.
said, that sounds very strange. You're talking to Charles that way.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I almost want to go like, whoa, living on a prayer now.
Yes.
Because it does kind of sound a little bit like Bon Jovi's Living on a Prayer.
Yes.
But it's not
Somehow.
that. It's not that, though.
No, it's not.
So
Yes.
it is actually the song Somewhere that Jason was quoting lyrics to.
Yes.
Because, hey, he's a theater geek.
Yes.
As it turns out. Or as he calls it, thespian.
Yes.
And that's a song from the song Somewhere from the 1957 Broadway musical West Side Story.
Yes.
And apparently Rose is a little bit enough of a theater geek that she recognized the lyrics and spoke them right along with him, and they went all smoochy at the end. So
yeah. So
what did you make of like Jason taking Rose back to where trying to get her open up to her, and after apparently there's like squatting in mansions that aren't being used, and somehow Gotham City has an ocean nearby.
Yes. Yeah, that makes no sense whatsoever.
I saw that ocean in the back. I was thinking, okay, well maybe it's a lake, but then it's like, it sounds way too oceanic to be a lake.
But we often see the docks at Gotham, so
right.
Gotham is supposed to be around New York. That's
Well, here's the thing. It was also bright and sunny out. Gotham is not bright and sunny.
Yes.
It's always dark. It's always depressing.
Yes, it's always
even in the suburbs.
It's always sunny in Philadelphia. It's always dark in Gotham.
Yeah.
This is the weakest storyline.
Right.
The reason why the only reason why I'm not taking massive points off my score card is we do get the reveal that Rose is the traitor. Right. I had actually said, nah, I don't know if there's going to be a traitor. I don't see.
And
once again, Charles said, no, we're going to have a traitor. We're going to have a traitor.
2 for 2 today.
Yes, you are. So, she's like, oh, calling, Deathstroke and talking. So,
but now to be fair though to Rose, so even though she was the traitor to this point, and presumably that means she was the one leaving things everywhere in Titan's Tower to mess with them,
right?
But she calls up Deathstroke, her father, or who she thinks is her father, and says, okay, after having lots of sex with Jason Todd, I've decided I'm done.
Yeah.
This little scheme of yours, all these schemers, and with their scheming, that's it. I'm done. I'm not into this anymore. You're on your own. I'm going to go be with Jason. Have a nice day.
Hmm.
And if don't come after me because I will kill you. You can't stop me. There's
Hmm.
nothing you can do. So essentially, she's decided, okay, I was the traitor, but I'm done with that. So
Yeah.
maybe she's all in now.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Exactly.
What do you think?
Yeah, maybe so.
There's a possibility there. Now,
Mhm.
whether they're going to trust her, because obviously that's going to come out at some point, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because,
Um,
these Berlanti shows love their secrets.
they do. Hmm.
And so we'll
Um,
find out. So,
yeah.
but it's again, Jason trying to open up to Rose, but Rose not really giving a lot back to him.
No, she isn't. And
She's way
I
too guarded.
I still don't understand with her healing powers why she can't fix her eye. That bothers me. But I'm going to hand wave that, I
Yeah.
guess. But it just bothers me. Um,
Now,
yeah,
now I'm wondering if like maybe the next episode we're going to see how she lost that eye.
yeah, maybe so.
We'll see.
Um,
Now would be a good time to do it.
yeah.
Now that the secret's out,
Hmm.
but we'll find
Yeah.
out.
So I didn't like this storyline very much.
Okay.
I haven't liked Jason very often
Yeah.
in this series, and I think you're not supposed to.
Right.
And when he is likable, they very quickly make him unlikable.
Well, he ends up being likable here. I mean, he's trying to build this relationship with
yes, he
Rose.
is.
This seems kind of like the Rose thing seems to be the only thing that works in his life.
Yeah.
And they do make a really good couple because they're basically the same personality.
Yeah, they're both very
They're
broken.
well suited. They're well suited to each other.
Yeah. I guess I just don't like the idea of them breaking into all these homes, even whether oceanfront or not. That just seems.
Well, they kind of bring out the
Not-
worst impulses in each other.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of who they are. So it's essentially kind of like a Sid and Nancy
Yeah.
or Bonnie and Clyde type thing
Hmm.
with them, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else about these characters?
Can't think of
All right.
anything. Nope.
All right. Fourth and final topic this time: Mercy Graves and Gar Logan.
So
This is there's not a lot to this segment, but some big stuff.
so mutual friend of
Mhm.
mostly the Next Stop Everywhere podcast, Ken Schaefer, is a fan of all.
I hear that's a great podcast, by the way.
Yes, it is. It is an absolutely amazing podcast. Is a fan of B movies, horror classics, and the gorier and the more, creepy,
the better.
gruesome, the better for him. And he will often say, "Oh, Jesse, no, you do not have the temperament to watch this movie." And I'm okay with that because it's true. I was so crushed by this ending because I'm like, why? You've proven your point. Why would you not pull this person out? Mercy's just sitting there going, nope, I want Gar to have the taste of blood, to like human flesh. And that
Mercy doesn't care about it. Some anonymous lab tech that doesn't even have a name.
Exactly. That was.
She doesn't care.
No, that was just
She works for Lex Luthor, for crying out loud. She's not going to care.
I just hated that. I just hated that scene, and I thought it was very interesting the way they were showing the what was he seeing in his mind and what they're doing. I thought that was really well done, but it just broke my heart, and I shouldn't.
Here's sweet little Gar. No.
Yes, exactly. I don't want him. So
save our Beast Boy, right?
Exactly.
All right. So what did you make of that opening, where Gar, we hear him making like references to stuff that's happened in his past.
Yeah.
And they kind of pull back and they reveal that he's being operated on his brain.
Yes.
And we kind of see his head kind of opened up and them tinkering around in there. So Cadmus tinkering around on his brain, not a good sign, to say the least.
Well, with my
So they're kind of like probing his anger center of his
yes,
brain. And then once they find it, Mercy's like, okay, drill, baby, drill.
yeah. So with my massive medical knowledge of
Yeah,
watching ER and
right.
Grey's Anatomy and Marcus Welby, MD, and all these other medical shows,
Wow, you went all the way back to Marcus Welby, MD
I
for
had
that
to
round?
think of an old one. Um,
You
they'll
couldn't just
often
go MASH and be done with
yeah,
it?
they were talking about right that when you do brain surgery, often you need them to be awake so
Yeah,
that you can make sure you're not hurting a different what segment. You don't, that way you can tell. But they
right.
specifically in this case is no, we're having open because we want to drive the anger. We want to this guy is a potential weapon and we're going to make him this tiger. We want him to have the eye of the tiger so that he can go forward.
Rising up,
Yes.
back on the
Yes.
street.
Yeah. Now, what I
Did my
hope,
time, took my
yes,
chances.
what I hope is when the Titans show up, they're going to find they've got a tiger by the tail, and it's
Yeah.
not going to go well for Mercy and her band of villains.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Right now, it's not looking good for mind-controlled Gar.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, because he thinks he's playing video game, or you know, and he thinks he's playing video games, and there's like a lab. He thinks he's talking to Rachel,
Yes.
when in fact it's this poor, unsuspecting lab tech, and who should have seen enough by now to know not to go into this room and
Yeah.
do anything Mercy says. Um, so Mercy flips the switch and has Gar kill that poor, unsuspecting lab tech.
What I thought would,
Expendable lab tech.
yeah, I can almost see, right?
We saw it coming a mile
Gosh,
away.
Miss Graves, really? You're going to let me
Yeah.
work with the patient? Thanks, Miss
Yeah.
Graves.
Yeah.
This is a great thing for me.
This
Womp.
is a rear.
Yeah.
This is a big career builder.
Yeah. So, very, very nice. Now, this does set up your theory that Rachel losing Gar,
Yeah.
this
It
does,
could.
with him being, has he been gone to the dark side too much?
Right.
Once you have a taste for human flesh, can you rise above it?
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay.
But who knows? Maybe she'll sacrifice something else instead.
Yeah, we'll see.
Like maybe that pesky soul self of hers. Who
Yeah,
knows?
maybe so.
But we'll see. So I'm not gonna write off Gar yet.
Okay.
But at the moment, it's not looking good.
It is not looking good at all.
So especially, and I'm sure there's a lot of Beast Boy fans out there that are really hoping the storyline turns out differently.
And I'm raising my
Jesse's
hand as
waving.
one of
Yes,
them.
Jesse's like me.
Yes.
Yeah. So hopefully things work out for
Okay.
our favorite green-haired changeling.
Yes. So I'm going to take your line. Anything else we
Yes.
need to talk about on this episode, Charles?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we've covered everything,
Okay,
to use
good.
Jesse's line.
Okay.
But I think we hit the highlights.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot to cover, but I think
There is, yeah.
I think we did a good job getting through it all.
Absolutely.
So, what's your favorite quotes?
I'm going to start with the long one.
Okay.
I wrote down Bruce's main mansplaining.
Yes.
And
Okay.
I'm aware of what's happened to you, and I'm sorry. Lies can tear a family apart, and you've been living in the aftermath, and it's a lonely place to be. But that was this is a family, a choice breaking apart, and this was a choice. In the light of this news, I'm asking you to make another one. To come together, walking away from bad feelings is easy. It's much harder to take the blow and come back for more, but that's what a family does. If you can unite, you can face any threat. But darkness arrives when you're still cast apart. I truly believe none of you will survive. And if you won't protect one another, who will? I really liked that speech.
P.S.
Yeah.
I'm Batman.
Yes. And then I love the button back where, let me get this straight. Bruce Wayne miraculously arranged us to meet in this diner to mansplain us and to putting the
Well-
Titans back together.
in the middle of nowhere
Yeah,
to
it was just
mansplain.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
How about
yeah.
you? You got some?
And then Don's like, "Yep, that's exactly. I
Yep.
think that's exactly what just happened."
Yep. Yep. That's it.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So early on in
Hmm.
the episode, Dick and Bruce.
Yeah.
Okay, or Halus.
Yeah.
Dick and Halus. Um, Dick's like, "You just like effing with me," and Bruce goes, "A little bit,
Yeah.
yes, but honestly, it's time to get out of here." And Dick says, "I'm not going anywhere. I'm booked for an extended stay. This is where I belong." And Bruce says, "Look at yourself, moping in this hole like a coward. So you made a few mistakes. You got knocked down. Guess what? Nobody cares. All we care about is who gets up. The pity party is officially over." And I'm like, I was there watching this going, yes.
Yeah, I was too.
Testify, my brother. Testify.
And I do love there's a line that Donna says, "I know Dick Grayson, okay? He put himself on that cross, nailed
Yeah.
himself to it, and he's going to have to take himself down from it."
Yeah.
I think
That was Donna saying
yeah,
that.
yeah, I thought that
Yeah.
was perfect because he did have to take himself down from it. And
Wow.
once again, I love
Well, Dick is a martyr.
Yeah.
Essentially,
Yeah.
he's making himself a martyr.
and I love the Dick and Donna friendship.
Right.
It is great to see, and so we'll see.
You know, I mean, it's essentially it's a surrogate brother sister
Yes,
relationship.
absolutely. Yeah,
And more than I think a friendship. I think it's deeper than a friendship.
yeah. What I mean,
But Donna is, she's able to be mad at Dick.
Yes.
And at the moment she's mad at him. So she's just
Yeah.
like, okay, he wants to make a big martyr of himself. Fine, let him.
yeah, and
he's capable. He can get himself out of this.
yeah, and I think the reason why I specifically said friendship is there is not a romantic love between there, and
No.
that's the whole point. No, I definitely agree. They
It's
are
platonic.
brother. They are brother and sister. There is a bond that is really, really strong.
Yeah. It's very platonic. There's no.
Yes.
I don't think there's any hint of romance there.
Yeah.
Not yet. Anyway.
Absolutely.
Unless things change, but not right now. Certainly.
Mhm.
Any other quotes?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Corey talking to the diner cook. Okay.
Okay.
So Corey says, "Here's the thing. I'm having a really essy few days.
Okay.
So if you could just try, that would be great." And of course, trying to if you could just make some donuts for me. And the cook
Yeah.
goes, "And people in hell want ice water, lady. We don't make donuts." And Corey goes, "Listen, my sister killed my parents, and she stole my damn crown and marooned me on this ridiculous planet. So if you've got flour, eggs, and sugar back there, I'm going to need you to go back and figure it out, okay?" And the cook looks at her, pauses and looks at her for a moment. "Donuts coming right up."
Yeah, I like that a lot. Yes.
That was great.
Mhm.
One more. Let's see. No, I guess that's right. You took my nailed him, put himself up on the
Yep.
cross quote. So okay. So that's all the quotes I've got.
Good.
All right. So what's your rating for this one?
I'm going to give it 9 out of 10 filled voicemail boxes.
Nice. So you really enjoyed this one.
I did.
Compared to what lately.
And I think part of it is the comparison.
Yeah.
I think if they had been consistently, I would have said, "Oh, this is an 8.5. This was good." But because this followed 2 really weak episodes, it just yes,
This
Titans,
breath of fresh air.
Yeah, this is what we've been loving.
Yeah.
How about you?
So I was more generous, but I mean, not more generous than you, but I was generous than the last couple of episodes.
Yeah.
We're starting to it was definitely an upswing. I will grant you that. But I don't think it's quite there yet. We're slowly digging ourselves out of that hole.
Fair enough.
So I'm only giving it 8 out of 10 unmade donuts because Corey never got her donuts.
Yes.
Where did that cook go?
Yeah.
She just bailed out "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go make those donuts," and then she probably "That's it. Feet don't fail me now."
Yeah. Well, they had a pile of donuts at the end. Because didn't Bruce take one?
No. That was a roll.
Oh, that was a roll? It looked like donuts to me.
I think it was a roll.
Okay. I have no doubt.
Like maybe if yeah, we got to go back,
Okay.
but I'm gonna go with dinner roll
All right.
on
Good
that,
deal. All right. That's fair enough.
or biscuit or something. No, I
Yeah.
think it was more of a dinner roll
Okay.
personally.
Good.
All right. So Titans Tower news. I actually have a little bit of Titans Tower
Yay.
news.
Okay.
So big news for everybody that enjoys DC Universe's Titans and a certain Titan Talk the Titans podcast. I think both of those, I think it's safe to say, got renewed for season 3 in
Yes,
fall
it
2020.
did. Yes.
So if you're sick of us, guess what? We're going to be coming back for season 3, you guys.
Yes.
Um, hopefully you're not sick of us because hopefully you're enjoying it.
Mhm.
Titans got picked up for season 3. I think a lot of people were, including myself, were surprised by that because we weren't sure if DC Universe was going to get folded into HBO Max, or maybe it still will. But regardless, somehow, either if it ends up on HBO Max or still on DC Universe, we're getting a season 3.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome.
and that means we're here at Titan Talk, more than happy to talk more Titans, of course, and we'll be your guides for season 3.
Yeah.
In fall 2020.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I think that's great news.
What was your reaction to the news? Were you surprised?
Yeah, I was not surprised. I know that this is one of the flagship,
Right.
series on the DC universe. I think that they offer something kind of unique, the digital format. And I was doing some exploring. I have not explored with too many of the comics. And I started looking at this, and I'm like, they're within. I mean, they've got stuff that's up like only a couple of years old that's on there.
Yeah, what they're doing is actually on the comic side. Now that you bring it up, it's actually only a year old.
Okay.
Like once it's a year old, they upload it. That's their cutoff point.
And that makes this.
So it's pretty current.
Yeah, because I was sitting there and I went, wow. And so I created you're allowed to create a wish list. I went, here's books I want to read. And so I think that definitely makes it worth, because Linda, I got on a little bit of a rant because Linda's like, what's Apple Plus or the Apple TV and what's Disney Plus? And I'm like, it's just another service we have to pay for. And I started going
We don't have to.
Yeah, I started going through all the services that we currently subscribe to. Right. And, Linda's like, but we use all of them. I said, I'm not saying we don't. I'm just saying that,
Well, somebody, like with more and more services, you have to kind of now budget. And I'm sure a lot of people are out there doing this where you're having to go, like, because there's actual competition now.
Yeah.
You have to kind of look at your budget and go, all right, I can afford this.
Yeah.
So I need to prioritize which ones I really want.
Yeah.
And then see which ones I could swing and work, essentially use up how much budget do I have left for this other service.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But great news. I am thrilled we're going to get another season. I hope they stick the landing on this one, but regardless if they do or not, you and I are going to be back because it's the Titans, and hey, we love it.
Yeah. So, and we only have 2 more episodes of season 2. Hopefully those are strong. And if that's the case, then we only had like maybe 2 or 3 bad episodes this season.
And I do need to, Ken Schaefer's getting 2 shout outs in this episode. He had never watched Young Justice. And so
too bad.
he got the discs.
Yeah.
And he had just gone through a lot of Super Friend cartoons. Right. And we were sitting at lunch going, Jesse, it just does not hold up. I mean, Super Friends, I know we loved it as kids, but it's just
it doesn't hold up
at all. And so
the Legion of Doom season, Challenge of the Super Friends, that's probably the best.
Yeah. So
but
he finished it and he started Young Justice. And he was like, he sent me a text. Oh my goodness. After Super Friends, this is amazing.
Yes,
so
it is.
He's starting from season 1 and having a blast. So
let's see what happens when he actually goes to those DC original animated movies.
Yeah.
because there's a lot of good ones on there.
There are, absolutely. Yeah.
So highly recommended.
So,
All right.
Charles, do we have any feedback from our wonderful listeners?
Well, we do. Since I was talking about Titans news, I thought, is there anything else? We'll probably get to that later, I guess,
Yeah.
on the Phantom Zone when we record Phantom Zone.
Yeah.
All right. So yes, we do have feedback, thankfully. So we have, first and foremost, we have a new listener writing in.
Yay.
He was writing into us about atonement that we talked about a couple episodes ago.
Good.
Chuck Beener. So, hi, Chuck.
Nice.
Appreciate you writing in. And he says, he just drops us a quick note here in our email. He says, I just listened to your Atonement episode and would like to give my interpretation of why Rachel left with Donna.
Oh, good.
So Chuck thinks, Rachel left with Donna because, as she immediately told Gar, I can't stay here. Rachel is a minor, and she knew that the Titans wouldn't allow her to leave by herself. By picking Donna as her caretaker, the Titans let her leave without debate. Once she was out of the building, all she had to do in order to escape was overpower Donna. And he signs off, love the show, Chuck Beener. So
okay, I think that's a realistic. I don't know if
it's believable. It's a good explanation.
It is a good explanation. I don't know if the Titans are that worried about legal status, but I think it's
they were giving Jericho booze on the beach.
Yeah, so I think that's nice. I think that's a really, really good discussion. Yeah, well done.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's a good if even if it's not the right answer, it's a very plausible answer.
It is a very plausible. I like it. Good job.
So I'm going to give points to Chuck because that was actually a very well thought out.
Yes, I really like that. Yeah.
So, and Chuck, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Hope you keep enjoying the podcast because we enjoy your emails like this.
Yes.
So keep those up, please.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. So we have Jock writing in once again. So hi, Jock.
Hey,
Jock. Becoming quite the regular.
Yay.
He writes in, hey, happy weekend, fellas. Even though we're on Monday, we'll allow it because we kind of delayed this. Did we get a great episode or what? Referring, of course, to this episode.
Ooh, good.
So this episode had some fantastic moments. I do have a couple of questions first. How did Bruce supposedly get all the ladies together as mentioned by Corey? Well, again, this is the hand wave.
Yes.
So just... whoosh, 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 whoosh. Wave that hand.
We did bring it up though. You are right to bring that up a lot. Yes.
Yeah. It is definitely a question worth wondering, but probably better off not dwelling on.
Yes.
I'm guessing. All right. So none of that makes any sense. That does not make sense.
Yes.
It's the Chewbacca defense.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a South Park fan, you know what I'm talking about there. It seems more like a Rachel thing. Hopefully that gets explained or corrected. Next, I know that Dick had a fever and all, but why go back to the I'm seeing Bruce Wayne that isn't there? Hopefully the viewers don't have to worry about Dick's mental state anymore. I'm going to throw out a reason for that.
Okay, go ahead.
As a writer, or like I like to think that I am, the reason they did that was because Dick's in solitary. He needs someone to talk to.
Yes.
He needs someone to bounce ideas off of, and instead of just kind of sitting there thinking to himself quietly.
Yeah.
Unless he's talking to himself. And in this case, he kind of was talking to himself. His subconscious.
Yeah.
Manifesting as Bruce. So essentially what they did is like to give Dick somebody to talk to, they brought back hallucination Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, and I actually think to even include more, they've already established that that
Dick has mental illness.
Not mental. That in his mind he does this. So I think that's not. I think that's a good plot device. I understand why he may not like it, but I thought that was because we've already established this is one of the ways Dick, his conscience, speaks to him.
Right.
right? So yeah, I'm happy with that.
But also, at least this time, they kind of gave a more straightforward medical reason
Yes.
that, hey, he has a fever, he's sick,
Yeah.
and it's a hallucination from being sick, as opposed
Absolutely.
to just being crazy and cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Which he may be both, but
Yeah.
presumably it's more the fever this time.
Absolutely.
All right. So he goes on to the good stuff. I love that Bruce called Dick son.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice to hear.
Yes.
Yes, it warms the hearts of many a Bat fan.
Yes, we do.
The Bruce and Dick's fight scenes were phenomenal. They were really good, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
The Iain Glen detractors should feel a little better about his casting with this performance. I'm sure Jesse would agree with you.
There were distractors? I didn't know there were distractors.
Detractors.
Yeah, I didn't know there was anyone who's not happy with him.
Yeah.
So, okay.
There are.
Wow.
There are a lot of people. There are quite a few people that are not happy with the casting. I think it's mostly because they don't like the idea of older Batman. And also the accent, because he does kind of have a kind of a bad American accent at times. But apart from that, I'm willing to overlook it personally.
Yeah.
So he continues, I love Corey and Donna's lines. They are both perfectly sarcastic.
Mm-hmm.
Last but not least, poor Garth.
Yes. Very, very poor.
I think he means Gar, not Garth.
Yes.
Because Garth was Aqualad. He's dead.
Right.
But so I'm guessing he means Gar.
I think so too.
Beast Boy.
Yes.
So, yeah, he goes, I give this episode 9.5 jellies.
Nice.
So he really liked it as well. So
Good.
I guess I'm in the minority this time.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but you gave it 8. It isn't like you said,
no, I
this
didn't hate
thing
it.
Sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I don't think it sucked at all. I think it's just more of a starting to rebound. You got to climb yourself out of that hole, and they're starting to do that. So
absolutely,
hopefully they keep the upward trend.
Yeah.
That is all until next week, fellas. Jock. So thanks, Jock.
Yes, appreciate
for writing in. Great to hear from you. And then lastly, we have Stephen Marshall writing in. He sent us a direct message on the Twitter machine.
Yay!
So look at Stephen being all tricksy there. He goes, "Hey up, guys! I'm a regular email, Stephen Marshall. I don't think I'm going to get an email to you guys this week. Only just catching up on Titans. Thanks for reading them when I do them, though. We'll hopefully be back on schedule next weekend." Okay, so all right, so you're on the record, Stephen. You got to write in.
Absolutely, we want
no excuses now.
That's right.
You had a week off. We'll allow that. But come on back because we want to hear back more from you. So everybody, so thanks to Chuck and Jock for writing in and for Stephen at least checking in this week.
Absolutely.
So it's great that you guys are out there. We really do appreciate you guys writing in. And
absolutely.
Because it's great to know that our listeners are out there and you guys are getting engaged and you have your own thoughts on the episode because we do want to hear them.
If someone else wants to give us feedback or share their thoughts, how can they, Charles?
Well, if you want to be like one of the cool kids like Chuck, Jock, and Steven, you can drop us a line at TitanTalkCast@gmail.com. That's TitanTalkCast@gmail.com. Or you can reach us on Twitter like Steven did at TitanTalkCast on Twitter. Or Facebook, Titan Talk, the Titans Podcast. And please like and follow us there if you would. And we'd really appreciate it. So we'd love to hear from you, however you want to do it. And if you're so inclined, share our links if you think about it, because that helps people find us, helps us grow this podcast, our community, our Titans fan community here. So we'd appreciate that immensely.
Absolutely. We want you to go to iTunes to rate and review the podcast.
Right.
If you want to hear more of me or want to reach out to me directly, I can be found on Twitter at Jesse Jackson DFW. I am on Facebook as well, Jesse Jackson, if Louisville, Texas, because there are a few other Jesse Jacksons out there.
Right. None more important than you, though.
Yes. So you have not one, but two other opportunities to hear this kind of banter between Charles and I. We currently are doing a total of 3 different podcasts. We are doing Next Stop Everywhere, the Doctor Who podcast, where we discuss all things Doctor Who, both classic and modern. Currently, I'm only showing up about once a month, but Charles is doing the heavy lifting the other 3-4 weeks of the month with guest companions, and they have had a myriad of people picking their favorite episodes and discussing, and it is a lot of fun, and I get the joy of just being an audience member.
Yeah.
Then also,
Jesse comes in and plays cleanup for us. He's the cleanup hitter
yes.
at the end of every month.
And then Charles and I we have Phantom Zone podcast is where we discuss TV, comic book TV. And
yeah.
right now we are going through the excellent HBO series Watchmen.
Which you should all be watching after Titans.
Yeah, absolutely. It is truly amazing. And so you can hear us, as I said, on the Phantom Zone podcast, where you can talk about it. And then I have the 2 podcasts that I do not have Charles as my co-host. I have How Many, which is where me and about 3 or 4 of my friends get together and we discuss pop culture topics. And it's just mostly us goofing off, but it's a lot of fun. And then Set Listing Bruce, the Bruce Springsteen podcast, where I talk to Bruce Springsteen fans from around the world. And so that's where we kind of discuss all things Bruce and fandom. And coming up, I have a Electric Light Orchestra expert showing me that he does an ELO podcast and he's joined me. So that's always fun.
ELO must be like just, with this episode and that you're on your podcast that it must be really in your head right now.
It is. That's why it was. And I won't bore you, but I heard a very fascinating fact that I did not know about ELO that I will tell you another time. Charles, okay. How about you? Where can your fine work be found?
My fine work can be found at Charles Skaggs on Twitter, at Charles Skaggs on Instagram, Facebook, of course, Charles Skaggs, Hilliard, Ohio, and my blog of geeky things. Come on, you.
Damn good coffee. And hot.
Damn good coffee and hot, where I talk about all the stuff we talk about here on Titan Talk, all kinds of Titans news, Doom Patrol news, comic book sci-fi news, any kind of casting or reviews, movie reviews, what have you. News of my other podcasts that I do for Southgate Media, including what Jesse mentioned earlier, of course, the Phantom Zone podcast where we're talking HBO's Watchmen, having a blast doing that. We're even going to be talking another Phantom Zone right after we do this.
Yes, we are.
This very evening, because we're gluttons for punishment that way. And but seriously, it's a lot of fun. And then also, we talk Next Stop Everywhere, the Doctor Who podcast, where Jesse said where he comes in once a month. And we have a bunch of great special guest companions, and also Ghostwood, the Twin Peaks podcast that I do with Zan Sprouse, wife of comic book artist Chris Sprouse, where we talk about all things Twin Peaks, David Lynch, etc., etc. So, everybody, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate you guys writing in, and we appreciate you guys listening to our podcast. And we're going to be back next time on Titan Talk for episode 12 for Faux Hawk. That is the title of the episode 12, the penultimate episode of season 2, because I love the word penultimate. It was kind of like they kept the title from us for the past few days. They didn't reveal it, and a lot of people were going, well, is it going to be Nightwing? Because we know Nightwing's coming up, or is it going to be Ravager? Because they had a picture of Rose finally donning her Ravager yes. costume. So if nothing else, we're going to get Ravager next week. But the title of the episode is Faux Hawk, as in faux hawk. Pretend like an almost mohawk that you do when you kind of smush your hair together in the center of your head. So we'll see what happens, but we know we're getting Ravager next week, and that's cool.
That is very cool. Yes.
So we're looking forward to that. And maybe we'll get Nightwing, hopefully. Maybe at the end of the episode. Probably. Yeah. This big dramatic reveal would be sweet. But
it would be.
But hopefully sooner, so we can see more Nightwing, right?
Absolutely. I wonder if they're going to wait till the very end of the season.
I hope they better not just like, okay, episode 13.
Yeah.
Here's Nightwing for like a split second, and then we
Yes.
cut to the credits.
I'm going to go on the record. That's what we're going to get. I
They
know.
better not do that.
I understand. Yes.
There is going to be a ton of disappointed people if they do
I
that.
believe they will be. Yes. Very nice.
And deservedly so. I think they deserve to get everything thrown at them if that's what they do.
Absolutely.
But hopefully Jesse's cynicism is not founded.
I hope not, but we'll see.
All right.
Good.
All right.
All right.
So everybody, thank you so much for listening. Come on back for Faux Hawk next time right here on Titan Talk, the Titans podcast. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.